I'm Madhu, Chief Scientific Officer for InSphero.
And I'm Lichtenberg, CEO and co-founder of InSphero. Madhu, congratulations for being elected to the board of directors for SLAS.
Thank you.
I think it's a great honor, and for us as a company, it's fantastic to have the second member of InSphero leadership team on the board of SLAS.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
How was your journey into SLAS? What were your connections to SLAS before?
Well, first off, you were one of the prime connections to SLAS, but I started my journey about 12 years ago with SLAS as a graduate student. And I think one of the biggest things with SLAS has been how it's changed over the years, but its commitment to being one of the most innovative organizations hasn't changed. So I've seen it go from being primarily technology focused, which has never really changed, but incorporating all of the biology and then changing with the needs of how the organization has changed over the time. I think it's been tremendous. So the CEO for the organization, Vicky, has tremendous vision for it. Scientific director Leslie also has brought a lot to the organization. So I'm really looking forward to working with these people.
And it's a very agile industry that we are working in, right?
Absolutely,
and SLAS has always stayed on top of what's needed in terms of science, technology, and dissemination, education. I remember SLAS was the first conference where we exhibited as InSphero at the time, so that was my first contact to SLAS, and since then I've been to every annual meeting. We've exhibited at every annual meeting, and it's always been fantastic. And then from 2021 to 2023, when I was on the board, it was a super exciting time. Not always a good time, because it was smack in the middle of COVID. There was a lot of uncertainty about whether face-to-face meetings, conferences would still exist in the future, right? Or is everything going virtual? It was very difficult to budget. It was unclear when we should restart face-to-face meetings. And it was an exciting time to see everybody coming together in 2023 in February in San Diego. It was the biggest conference to date at the time, right? So it was really clear everybody wanted to get back together, to exchange ideas, to start collaborating again. So it was pretty amazing. And I think the pandemic showed us how important lab automation is.
Really was.
Maybe more on the diagnostic side, but also to develop new vaccines and therapies. And I think it made clear how important this technology is for all of us. Now that you're stepping into the role of director, where do you see the strategic focus points for your work?
You know, that's a good question, because I think, so you brought up a really good point about the pandemic. You know, I think post-pandemic, that emphasis on collaboration has been key. So that whole idea of everyone reinventing the wheel has sort of gone, right? So I think being able to collaborate with the key experts in every area, I think that's one of the strategic areas that SLAS wants to focus on. So I think some of the key aspects now, when we think about it, generative AI, you know, any AI or ML powered model that you have, I think being able to leverage that in biology and in automation, that is one of the key aspects of SLAS. And I think truly being able to understand what that means in the context of technology and biology, instead of just using it, I think that is one of our sort of main areas of focus. Historically, diversity has been a topic of interest for SLAS, especially sort of being ensconced in the United States. But I think, you know, with the FDA also going the route of introducing diversity into clinical trials, we have to sort of take a step back and also see whether our preclinical models reflect that diversity. You know that we do that at InSphero as well. And I think going into SLAS with the regulatory authorities recognizing that we need that diversity reflected in the patient population, I think being able to reflect that in preclinical populations or preclinical assays, and then being able to spread that within the community becomes extremely important. So that's something that I think SLAS is really interested in bringing about. But I think as a community, what I really love about SLAS, and this is something that hasn't changed over time, they really support the younger generation of scientists. And I think having been one of those a long time ago, so I'm not going to tell you when because that dates me, but I think a lot of people coming out of grad school don't know where they're going post PhD if they're not going into academia, and SLAS has always provided that transition point for an early career scientist, and they're doing much more of that now, not just in the US and Europe, but they're sort of extending their reach to other countries. So they really provide a platform for young scientists all over the world to open up technology to them, and I think that is tremendous.
A lot of great things coming up on the horizon, so fantastic. I'm looking forward to be with you at SLAS end of January. San Diego is going to be a great meeting.
Yes.
And I wish you best of luck for the 3 years as a director.
Thank you very much,
They couldn't have picked a better person.
Thank you very much.